So here are my thoughts. We don't actually need the Epstein client list. You have his birthday book. His birthday book signed by some of the most notable, powerful, wealthy, and well-connected men on this planet. So explain to me why you need a client list when Ghislaine Maxwell would only ask his closest friends, people who went to his island, people who partied with him, for this leather-bound 2003 book that now Bobblehead Barbie is trying to convince us that somebody 20 some odd years ago knew that Donald Trump was going to become president, decided to fake his signature, slide it into this leather-bound book. This is before Jeffrey Epstein would be indicted and then arrested. This is before anybody knew. Anybody, and I mean anyone in the public, because clearly every single one of those disgusting individuals who signed that book with lewd and crude and tacky and tasteless and grotesque images and poems, they were all in on it. All of them. And every single fucking one of them deserves to be hauled in. Welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show, dear friends. Buckle up, because it's been a day already. Let's get into it. Welcome, dear friends. Welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show, and welcome, Damn Nation. So, folks, y'all, let me tell you something. I've said this for so long now that MAGA thinks that the rest of America is as stupid as their base. They really, really love to play in our faces, as the kids say, right? Because you're trying to convince us that someone knew well before Donald Trump was even tapped to be a presidential candidate, well before Jeffrey Epstein himself was caught up in a sex trafficking and pedophilia ring, that someone had the Scooby-Doo fucking Batman sensibility to forge a card from Donald Trump, place it in a leather-bound book, and then just wait 20 years for it to be scooped up? How dumb do they think we are? I know one thing, we ain't as fucking stupid as his base. So this is what has happened. The House panel, GOP House panel, releases drawing for Epstein. Apparently, this is according to New York Times, I guess they don't want to be sued, signed by Donald Trump. The Oversight Committee released files turned over by Jeffrey Epstein's estate, including a copy of a sexually suggestive note apparently signed by Trump. Here's the note, y'all. Blow up your screens, or if you're watching this on the TV, just get up and look at this. Because I want you to see something that I myself didn't even pick up. But here is this, I guess, fake conversation. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald, yes, there is. I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And every day be another wonderful secret. Okay? That's what the card read. And then I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, like, aside from the enigma, which of course Donald Trump says is a word that he never uses, and then there goes somebody else in media that's just like, here's Donald Trump using the word enigma. Okay. I don't do drawings, but then here are all of these drawings that I've done that have been auctioned off. Okay. It was this from Mueller, she wrote. This isn't a drawing of an adult woman. And that's what got me. Is that when you look at this photo, you've seen these done before. If it was an adult woman, there would be curves. There would be potentially bigger indications of breasts. And when Mueller, she wrote, posted that, I said, yeah, we have things in common, Donald Trump writes. So, the New York Times, the key congressional committee on Monday released a note and sexually suggestive drawing containing what appeared to be Donald J. Trump's signature that was included in a book for disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. A drawing that Trump has insisted he did not create. The drawing, a figure of a naked woman with Donald written below her waist, was part of a batch of documents turned over by Epstein's estate to the Oversight Committee, which had subpoenaed them. The panel published most of the documents, including a redacted copy of the birthday book, on Monday evening. The sketch in thick black ink outlines text that quotes an imagined conversation between Trump and Epstein, with what appears to be Trump's name scrawled in his distinctive handwriting. The release of the drawing and the birthday book only intensified a furor that the president has been toiling to stamp out over his administration's handling of the Epstein files. Or you mean them trying to bury the Epstein files, them trying to make it as if, oh, this is a Democratic hoax. My favorite spin to date coming out of MAGA world, my favorite spin to date is Fisher Price Speaker of the House Johnson telling reporters that the reason why Donald Trump spent time with Jeffrey Epstein was that he was an FBI informant working with the FBI to bring down Jeffrey Epstein. To bring down Jeffrey Epstein from a Democratic hoax? Because, get it, Speaker Johnson, you can't have it both ways. Either this is a Democratic hoax, or Donald Trump is now some undercover agent that worked with the FBI to uncover this pedophilia ring that he just so happened to dabble in, because that's how deep undercover he was. No. The Oversight Committee has secured the infamous birthday book that contains a note from Trump that he has said does not exist. Representative Robert Garcia of California, the top Democrat on the committee, said in a statement, "It's time for the president to tell us the truth about what he knew and release all the Epstein files." And then here comes bobblehead Barbie. As I've said all along, it's very clear Trump did not draw this picture and did not sign it. Who, lying Levitt, would this be very clear to? Someone who reads with Braille? Who is this very clear to? That Donald Trump absolutely did not draw this disgusting photo and he absolutely did not sign it. Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon, so many questions. If it's not his signature, whose is it? Why would somebody forge Trump's signature 23 years ago in Epstein's birthday book? Again, such a great question. You won't hear that question, I'm sure, asked inside, right? So let's take a listen. Oh, every single time, technology, the eclipses. Bear with me momentarily. Take a listen.
About the Epstein case, would the White House support a professional handwriting expert review of the document released yesterday to prove that it's not the president's signature?
Sure, we would support that. And in fact, I have already seen many forensic analysts of signatures coming out. I believe it was the Daily Signal that published a piece with 3 separate signature analysts who said that this absolutely was not the president's authentic signature. And we have maintained that position all along. The president did not write this letter. He did not sign this letter. And that's why the president's external legal team is aggressively pursuing litigation against the Wall Street Journal, and they will continue to.
Uh-huh. Why don't you look for yourselves then? Aaron Rupar, infamous on social media, this lying and spin is just ridiculous. The Wall Street Journal did an analysis of Trump's signature on the Epstein letter compared to other examples from that era. And there is no question it's authentic. So again, if you're watching this right now on your phone, on a tablet, or on your blow it up. If you're watching on your television, just walk up to the screen. On the top, letter to Epstein, 2003. Conway letter, and I believe that this says the Conway letter is also from that time, and Clinton. Do you see? And they tell you that signatures change over time. So they specifically got signatures from the same 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003 to make the comparison. There's a letter to Epstein, signature. Conway, signature. Clinton, signature. A letter sent in 2000 to Hillary Clinton congratulating her on her election to the U.S. Senate. Signature. It's just like, it's so stupid, right? Like, I can think of so many other things as a former crisis PR person, professional. I could tell you that there are a number of ways that you could say, oh, absolutely. Give reporters nowhere to go. Were you and Jeffrey Epstein close? Absolutely. Jeffrey and I were close. However, I never did go to his island. We were close because we both were in finance. Did you sign his birthday book? Yeah, it was a spoof. It was a joke. I signed it, but that doesn't indicate guilt. But instead of doing like low lift lies, right? Because that would still be a lie. But instead of doing things that would show you, I'm trying to give you all the information that you need, his people just all out, just blatantly I mean, the way that the lies drip from their mouths, these people, their brains should actually be studied, because I don't believe that they have evolved in any type of way from, let's say, toddlerhood to now. No real conscious, no real control over emotions, and just blatant lying. But you tell me, does this look like Donald Trump's fucking signature? Because it absolutely does to me. Does that drawing look like something that Donald Trump would do? Absolutely. Has Donald Trump himself said that when you're a star, they let you do it? You can just walk up and grab a woman by the pussy. Who said that? Donald fucking Trump. Who said that, oh yeah, I run these Miss Universe pageants, etc. And because I own the pageants, I can walk into the dressing rooms at any time. They have to let me go wherever I want. I own the pageant. Who said that? So now you're trying to convince us that Donald Trump is not a misogynist, a womanizer, an alleged rapist, a sexual assaulter. He was at the US Open over the weekend. I said this on Democracy-ish. Wajahat said, and he returned to the scene of the crime. Why? Because at the US Open, 2 different women in 2 different times accused him of unwanted sexual advances. If you do not have a penchant for assault, for abuse of women, why would there be so many? So the New York Times goes on. Several pieces of personal correspondence reviewed by the New York Times that Trump signed with just his first name decades ago, closer to the time period of the birthday book, look remarkably similar to the signature on the drawing. Like the sketch, they have more distinct individual letters and a long tail of ink at the end of the final D in Donald. The Times obtained copies of the documents several years ago from the official New York City archives of who? Rudy Giuliani and Ed Koch. Again, Donald Trump abuses women. Donald Trump called his own daughter a nice piece of ass. That was Ivanka. Then he talked about his toddler at the time, Tiffany, and said, yeah, she has nice legs like Marla. Hopefully she'll develop some more up here. He said that about his daughter, Tiffany, when she was a toddler. What kind of father speaks about their child in that fucking way? And then, folks, when I saw this drawing, well, you take a look at it. This was inside of the birthday book. This is literally a picture drawn of Epstein grooming children, grooming girls. In 1983, he's giving little girls balloons and blow pops. In 2003, same group of girls, now topless in thongs. And if you look at the drawing of the girl in the blue thong, there's a heart on her ass. And what it says in that heart is J.E. You know, as in property of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know who drew the picture. This is one of the many pictures that were in this book. What else is interesting is the plane. The plane that Donald Trump flew on a number of times and met his whore of a wife. on that plane. What else was pointed out on social media and in the news? So I don't know if I don't have a pointer on here, but you see the building. So you see the plane and the sun and the sky, palm trees, and you see the building. So in another image, the building was blown up next to, guess what? A real life picture of Mar-a-Lago. So it looks like whoever drew this is Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-a-Lago. 1983, 2003. What a great country. I mean, I don't know how you look at this shit and you think to yourself, oh, Donald Trump is totally innocent. Oh, these people were just friends with Epstein. Are you fucking kidding me? This man is pictured here grooming children, girls. Like, folks, I get so sick. I get so sick, honestly, because I'm like, okay, there's lots of things that you can think, right? We need the list. We need more of the files. We need this. This birthday book is proof. This birthday book and everyone that Ghislaine Maxwell went to. By the way, the birthday book is like 200 fucking pages, apparently. These people wanted to make up stories about Hunter Biden's laptop, which didn't give a shit. Hillary Clinton's email server didn't give a shit. You have hard fucking proof, signature, pictures, drawings. And MAGA's sitting around saying, oh, that's not Donald Trump's signature. I know Donald Trump's signature. But you know for certain that in these made up things, Hillary Clinton's emails, the laptop, that for certain there must be something in there. We just need to go through it more. But you literally have a bound leather book plopped on your fucking lap. And this is MAGA. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I don't see anything. What are you talking about? So Republicans, just again, released the full book and other documents accusing Democrats of cherry picking records by releasing just the page attributed to Trump. The book is filled, as I said, with lewd pictures, with many faces blacked out, because there are actual real photographs in there that Ghislaine Maxwell herself curated of young girls, partially nude. The book lists notable figures. Bill Clinton wrote a note. Alan Dershowitz wrote a note. Clinton's apparent handwritten note mentioned Epstein's, folks, quote, and we've said this before, so this is not breaking news. Bill Clinton wrote, and his note mentioned Epstein's childlike curiosity. Is that a joke? And drive to make a difference. Doing what exactly? What was his drive to make a difference? What was the Well, I mean, we know the childlike curiosity because he's real curious about fucking little girls. Dershowitz, a parent, typed a note, said he obtained an early version of Vanity Unfair and talked them into changing the focus from you to Bill Clinton with a mock-up of the fake magazine cover. Fake articles included Al Qaeda in South America financed by Epstein and Jeffrey Epstein's Bloody Summer. Democrats focused on Trump's purported contribution and demanded to know what other references to the president might be in the Epstein files. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret, said the message with Trump's signature. Every day be another wonderful secret. Except this sex trafficking ring wasn't a secret. It was a multi-billion-dollar empire run through elite channels, paid for by some of the most powerful fucking men in the world. Not just the country, in the world. You cannot convince me that this man committed suicide. You cannot convince me that Donald Trump was not a regular patron of Jeffrey Epstein. You cannot convince me that this is probably the most bipartisan fucking list of men you could come up with. From bank CEOs that he was running this operation through, JP Morgan Chase and others, they all fucking knew. They wrote jokes and poems and notes. And when you listen, folks, when you listen to the stories of these victims, how do you not say release the files? They laughed and they joked. He'd been grooming these girls since 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Selling them off to powerful men. Then there's this. Lord Jesus, every time that you think that it cannot get more depraved, every time that you think it can't be worse. A new page from Epstein's birthday book, according to House Oversight Democrats. Epstein and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member joking about selling a fully deprecated woman to Trump for $22,500. There's the big check. There's Epstein, there's the Mar-a-Lago member, and then there's the redacted face of a woman. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, I'm sorry, not deprecated, depreciated. Fully depreciated woman, excuse me. Do you understand? Like, these are not frat boys. These are not pranks by boys with underdeveloped, still reptilian brains. This is not on a college campus. These are 50, 60-year-old men. And when I went and when we heard the audio, folks, the audio of grabbing women by the pussy, when we heard the audio, October 2016, and what was the reaction from white women? MAGA white women said what? It was just locker room talk. But you're not on a sports team. You're not in a fraternity. These women support their own oppression. These men see them as depreciated, like a used fucking car that gets used and abused and then thrown away. I continue to say that, like, how did this persist? Because no one cares about women and girls. You have, I mean, all of these men that we learned about during the very brief period of Me Too, where the stories of women go viral and some powerful men lose their jobs. But these men were protected by networks, by studios, by politicians. Oh my God. And to call this type of shit locker room talk is just so fucking disgusting. And we continue, right, to tell women how to dress, how to look. Don't entice the man. Don't say this. What were you wearing? Why were you out late? Why were you all of these things that we do to shrink women so that they don't garner the attention, unwanted attention of men, instead of teaching boys and men how to be fucking better, how to not use and abuse women and girls. No, we got to create apps where we can tell other women about red flags and horrible men, and don't walk down this street, and don't go to this frat party, and don't do this. The Secretary of fucking Defense said on audio, if a woman is unconscious, that's not rape. And then later pays off a fucking woman that he assaulted. Y'all, you know, we have normalized abuse against women, that it is just things that happen. When you hear about how many girls will be raped in college, folks, it's like 1 in 4. And we just tolerate that as a society and tell girls, well, don't put your solo cup down. Make sure that you travel in groups. Don't leave your friend. And then if you put your cup down, if your friends leave, well, that was your fault. Yeah, it just, It honestly makes me so sick because this party has spread so many lies about queer people like myself. They have called LGBTQ people groomers and said that we were pedophiles and said that we shouldn't be around children. We shouldn't be allowed to teach or adopt or have our own kids or any of those things because we couldn't be trusted. And they fucking harbor their own groomers and pedophiles and cover for them and elevate them, all while projecting on communities that actually love and care about kids. I tell you, I cannot wish enough bad things on these people, but it always seems, friends, like they always level up. They always fail up. Accountability, responsibility, never catch them. You know, and I know that some people then they rely on God and they said, oh, well, when they, meet their maker, when will the victims receive justice? And, the sad thing, folks, is that none of this matters. It's not as if the Epstein files are going to actually bring Donald Trump down. They may cause fissures. And like I've said before, fissures are important when you're fighting fascism. They absolutely are. You should exploit the fissures that happen. But the opportunity that once again was missed in order to actually bring Donald Trump down, in order to tie him directly to this pedophile? No. Fucking Democrats wanted to be the adult in the room. On this issue, if no other issue, and there are so many other ones, but on this issue of pedophilia and abuse and sexual assault and trafficking of girls, someone's daughter, Democrats should have gone for the fucking jugular. They should have eviscerated Donald Trump so that he couldn't show his fucking face anywhere. I had another story to talk about today, but I'm going to close it here because I want to do just about 10 minutes of a town hall. I apologize because I have to run earlier than normal. Usually I do 15, but I'm going to do 10 today. So without further ado, let's all take a breath because I'm just so fucking angry. As always with Town Hall Tuesday, write your question in the word question, capital letters, followed by your question. And let's get into it for the next 10. This is a question that I'm asking myself. Why didn't Biden release the pedo Trump files? Why didn't they? And it's the same reason that I think where Nancy Pelosi was asked weeks ago about the Democrats exploiting and using, this controversy. And she said, oh, it's nothing more than a distraction because you're covering for people. Right? And, oh, it'll do more harm than good. Oh, this doesn't have anything to do with politics. We need to stick with the issues. I don't think of another issue that's more important than protecting our fucking children from predators and exposing a $1 billion ring. Call me crazy. Looking for questions. Yes, please type question and then follow it with your question. I'm looking. One of the other things too. Question. Has Wajahat thought about introducing you to Joy Reid? If you two collaborated in some way, it would be epic. Thank you, Gus. I feel like you asked that before. Years and years and years ago, I used to do Joy's show, not the one that was canceled, but when she was on a weekend morning show. But good suggestion. Maybe I will try and reach out. Thanks so much. Daryl, can the Libs play for all 4 quarters tonight and get the win, please? From your lips to God's ears, sir. There is a 0 injury report listed for the Liberty for like the first time this goddamn season. So we'll see how they do. That's WNBA talk for people who don't watch the WNBA. Preston, did you see the economist who said a national boycott is the only real way to resist? Preston, I did not, but I've been saying that, and I'm not an economist, so I'm glad that someone else with those credentials said what I've been saying for months and months now. And hopefully somebody will listen and begin the organizing around that. Question. These people who hate immigrants should not be allowed to use devices, food, etc., invented or created by immigrants. Do you agree? 100%. I saw one of my friends sent me, and I wish I would have pulled it, sent me a great TikTok video. And it was this white man saying, I can solve the political issues that we have right now. When you vote, you get a blue card or a red card. This is what he said. You get a blue card or a red card. And you get the policies that you voted for. So if when you're going to pay your utility bill and you're like, well, climate change is a hoax, present your red card. And guess what? Your utilities are higher than everybody else's. You have an illness, you're in the hospital, you're at the doctor's office, and the bill comes. Guess what? You present your red card and you get maybe you get no coverage at all. And it was just so good. He went down all of this list of things and said, let's just let everybody get the policies that they voted for. You voted for bullshit, you get bullshit. You don't get to dine off the welfare that is given to you by blue states. No, you get exactly what it is that you voted for. And I thought that was brilliant. And then people would actually suffer the consequences of their vote. K Panda, how's your book coming? It is a work in progress. Let me tell you that I mentioned this several weeks ago, that I am working on my book proposal, first ever book. Inshallah, it actually, happens. And one day I announce, guys, I did it. And here's where you can pre-order your copy. Like, literally everyone who's watching this right now, put that energy out into the universe for me, because it will be, when it happens, a dream come true. I love books. I love reading. I have wanted to write a book for a really long time. Finding a topic that makes sense, that feels like me, has been a long, hard process. But we're getting closer. We are getting closer, and I'm feeling really good, hopefully, about where I will end at the close of this year. And hopefully I will have something to announce. Thank you for asking that. Oh, Jackie, do you think Donald J. Trump will outlive us all, get everything he wants in the world, and walk away scot-free? Sadly, I definitely do. He is, after all, fucking Satan. You know what, Jackie? I believe wholeheartedly that that is the truth. I don't know why evil gets to outlive all of these good people that die young, that die horrible deaths, and people that are just fucking snakes in human suits. Like, I don't know why they get to live long, unaccounted for, no accountability lives. But that will, in fact, be Donald Trump. He's already 79 years old, the oldest fucking president that was elected. Well, I think once, but, twice. He'll die in the next, God willing, few years. But, like, what will you can already write the fucking headlines that whenever Donald Trump passes and we still have media, you can already say, oh, he was such a kind and gentle man. He had such a sense of humor and a sense of way about him. So charismatic. That's one thing you can say about him. He had charisma. The headlines will write themselves. That's what makes me sick. Oh, this is a good question. Because the people, why did the Daily Beast get rid of the new abnormal, which is my podcast with Angie Levy that we did for a few years together. And this past May was our last episode. Why did they get rid of us? Oh, because the new management that took over for the Daily Beast, the new chief content person, they wanted their own vanity. They wanted a vanity project. They wanted to have their own podcast. They wanted to turn the Daily Beast into basically the Daily Mirror. They didn't want real politics or real conversations. They just wanted to have on salacious people and ask them questions. Oh, you slept with Donald Trump. Tell us, what is he like? Like, they wanted to do shit like that. Coming up on last question. Do you think okay, last question. Do you think SCOTUS will intervene in limiting or stopping the release of all the files? I mean, the people that have the files are Trump and his people. The FBI, the Department of Justice, has the files. So there's nothing to stop. I mean, yes, there are court orders and all of these things, but like, they have the files. So do I think that the SCOTUS is going to stop them? Yes, I do. I think that this MAGAfied Supreme Court, this unconstitutional Supreme Court, is in the pocket for Donald Trump, and they will do everything that they can to protect him. But like, Donald Trump is the fucking president. He is, like, he's now deified as the king of this country. So what, the Supreme Court is going to turn around and say, oh, you must release the files? The Supreme Court just said that we can guarantee racial profiling, and that's a-okay. So, I think the likelihood of us seeing anything more from this is, we'll see what the oversight continues to do, and if they actually hold a hearing, not hold a hearing, hold a vote, which Mike Johnson is not going to allow them to do. They need 2 more Republicans in order to get a vote, and it's not going to happen. All right, dear friends, thank you so much for indulging this quick town hall Tuesday today. I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, at 5 p.m. Eastern, here on the Danielle Moodie Show. As always, this is independent media. I am not bought or sold by anybody. So every single dollar, every single cent that you send my way, I am deeply appreciative of. So LB, Noel, Susan, PJ, Nicole, Polly, Susan again, K Panda again, thank you so very much. Every single dollar that you send my way allows me to create the kind of content that you all absolutely deserve. And I really appreciate each and every single one of you. Oh my goodness, PJ, you are just, I mean, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very much. So tomorrow, Wednesday, I am live on Substack at 12 p.m. Eastern on my Substack, The Damn Digest, with Jared Yates Sexton for our midweek check-in. I am also live on Substack at 3 p.m. Eastern with Wajahat Ali for our midweek democracy-ish check-in. And then I am back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern for the Danielle Moodie Show. Please do, if you like what you're hearing, hit, like, comment, subscribe, share this on your platforms, and help me grow this channel onward to 40,000 subscribers. We're now just a hair over 30. And I appreciate every single one of you. All right, dear friends, as always, power to the people, and to all the people power. Get woke, stay sane. And in these extraordinarily dangerous times, dear friends, do stay safe. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you tomorrow.